Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard another day of building Evie. So I'm going to start today by doing the under gunnel stuff, in the bedroom at least. So my plan is to put something like this up there. When this goes on there, then it does end up sort of flat, and then in due course, then there will be a piece that comes down the front, but that can cover just the front of that as well. So this will be attached with screws because I want it to be removable, just like everything else. So I started by measuring to see how deep each of these things was, because there's a bit of upstand at the back on some of the lower walls, so they all turned out to be a bit different. Having done all the tidying in the boat recently, then I thought it was a good idea to take everything outside to cut these strips down. Well, it turned out that that was quite a lot of work to take everything up there, and then because the ply is quite flappy and stuff, it's a bit painful. Anyway, I ended up moving to somewhere else, getting it cut in the end. I also had to go at cutting the ceiling, which we'll come to later. But anyway, I had enough bits to attach under the gunnels in the bedroom or above the bed. So that's on the port side, and this is the kitchen on the starboard side as it happens, simply just because that was where I could easily get to, really. And the kitchen is fairly high on my priority list. This wall carrier for the upper wall needed a bit of fettling with a chisel, or chiseling with a chisel, I suppose. But anyway, got it done, and that is now attached. Just some little screws that go in. I did them on the carriers mainly, but there were a couple where I just went into the lower wall. Then these are the thresholds, which so having seen Brad do the magic with the wax yesterday, this was my turn to fill in some nail holes. So they were actually holes, not they, because this is reclaimed Iroko. Then there are a few imperfections in different places. These turned out not too bad for my first effort, but well, they almost became worse when I applied another layer of the finishing wax to them. But that was what I did, and well, later on in the day, after they'd dried out in the sun and stuff a bit, then I was able to carry on and do the hard wax over the top of this. But as I say, not my finest hour, but I've done this not quite so quickly, so you can see what I'm actually doing, because I know some people like to try and see what I'm doing. I, it's called this is called soft wax from Morel's, as it happens, but I'm able to use it because I'm using a wax finish. I have no idea how it would go under varnish or anything. I simply did what I was told by by Brad, so I knew that it would work underneath this hard wax. So then this is then left to dry overnight. Because this wall is behind the bed, then again, I don't want wax coming off onto the sheets and what have you. So decided that I would hard wax this wall, hence me removing the faceplates off the sockets. I'm using a foam brush thing again, because that's what I was told to do. I'm just some guy on the internet who doesn't know I can't. As it happens, at the far end, then it was quite. I obviously got a bit too much, and it's still not even dry at the end of the following day. It was quite difficult to get it to be even, but well, it's not too bad. Certainly, the bits that you can see are okay. So. And then this is the following day, me putting the pattress plates back on, and then I started to have a go at the bed. And so I made most of this bed previously, or it got to a point where I kind of knew exactly where it was going. And when I started to put one of the drawers together, then I realised that it was going to get very cumbersome, so I'd stopped myself and didn't put the other one together, which is what I end up starting to do now. And I realised that I was going to have to attach the fronts somehow, so I noted all of these that I'm putting pocket holes in to attach the fronts. And having made mistakes before with pocket holes, going in the wrong side of things or whatever, then I just marked everything up before I actually laid these all out. That piece of wood I'm just using as a spacer because that's effectively the bottom of the drawer, so that I put the pocket holes in the right place. So there's two up to the top and one nearer the base, and then the base will have a couple into the face as well. These are built somewhat, well, they're overbuilt really, but that's fine. Yeah, they're good and sturdy, which is usually a good thing for big heavy drawers. I'm pre-drilling just so that I don't split the wood, because I'm using, I think, number 5 screws. I'm trying to get everything to just line up, so if you put it where you want it and pre-drill it and then screw it, then and just work along. There's a slight bow in this drawer base now, but it's okay. Just pulled it up to square with everything and screwed it together, and it seems to be okay now. And the back, I don't know quite how I hadn't cut this down yet, but I hadn't, so I did, and then attached it in. And again, just working along from the bit that's closest to square, nearest the bottom, and then pull it in up at the top and put it where I want it and screw it in place. And again on the bottom, then just giving it a couple of screws. They're not visible anyway, so the more the merrier really. I am countersinking each of these because they are number 5 screws and they've got quite big heads, and they won't really countersink into the ply like everything else does. Normally you can get away with a number 4 going into the ply without countersinking. So I'm starting to think now about the drawer runners and things, and so I put some 12mm ply underneath the drawer boxes, because that'll mean that they clear the carpet tiles that will go around the bed and what have you. So at this point then I noticed that I'd not put holes in so that I can get to these yellow tags. You'll see them at the right hand end of each of the drawers, so the middle and the far end. These are sort of locking tabs that stop the drawers from opening just, well, accidentally, or if the boat rolls more than you want it to or whatever. So making a hole to get my finger through to the tags, that was always a part of the plan. What I didn't plan on was at the left-hand end of each of the drawers. Then I inexplicably have cut the drawer faces too short, so the rails won't actually come past this face either. So I'm having to make a cutout for the rail to come through as well, which is a bit annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it now. Oh, well, actually, maybe I have a bit of 19mm ply that I could replace this with. I don't think so, but I'll have a look. Sometimes it's handy doing a review of work because it slows me down and causes me to think. So in some ways, these YouTube videos are handy to me as well as anybody else. But anyway, I think at this point then I've just about given up for the day. Oh no, I've got the other one to cut out. Obviously, when drilling through, if you make sure there's a piece of wood immediately behind it, then you will get away with a decent face on what you're drilling through. Well, as usual, I haven't got quite as far as I would like, but I think there has been some progress. A big stumbling block has been this bit of ceiling is for the galley, and it doesn't seem to be quite right. I started trying to put it up because that is my last bit of 3.6, and so if this is wrong, then I need to use some of that before I start cutting that into strips to make more under the gunnel stuff. So I've only got 2 bits of under the gunnel stuff done. The bed, I could do with any thoughts if anybody's got any bright ideas. I think I know how I'm going to attach the front, which will go like that. So I can attach this with glue and in the corners, and if I glue it, and then I use pocket holes on this in the corners into there, then I will be able to still take it apart. So these Ottoman hinges will go there, but mounting them with something like this, that goes through. It's and this is 19 mil, so if I use a really short, like number 5 screw or something, then I think it'll still go through, because I can't find anything that's short enough not to. So I'm considering the idea of coach bolts or nuts and bolts through from the outside, which doesn't fill me with joy because they're visible. Now obviously the only one that's actually visible is way up here. I guess I might be able to avoid, no I can't really, it needs something up here. So if anybody's got any bright ideas of how to fix that, then do let me know. That would be handy. Apart from that, then I think I am good. I won't be here tomorrow, so you've got time to comment and stuff if you've got any ideas. Be really helpful. Thank you very much. Take care. See everybody soon.